These are the first images of a batch of US-made ventilators being loaded on a military transporter bound for Moscow. Now it's America's turn to send Russia medical aid. US officials say there's 50 in this shipment, another 150 will be sent soon. But a few months ago, it was Russia sending aid, including doctors and medical equipment to Italy at the height of the pandemic there. From Russia with love is what Moscow called it. For critics, it was more like propaganda from the Kremlin. Russia was projecting an image of control. Even the US got a handout, a plane load of Russian aid sent to New York, as that city became the American epicenter of Covid-19. No matter it later emerged the Russian ventilators were unsafe, the fact Moscow was helping America in a crisis was a PR coup for the Kremlin. With extremely few recorded infections back then, Russia appeared to bask in its performance.
Thanks to the prompt measures taken in the first weeks of the epidemic, we managed to contain the massive penetration and spread of the infection in Russia. Now, despite the potentially high level of risk, the situation is generally under control.
But it wasn't, and it still isn't. Perhaps the first sign was this: Putin in full plague garb visiting Moscow's main coronavirus hospital in March. Previously, it appeared unprotected. Soon, Russia had record daily infections. The grim truth of Russia's pandemic emerging as key figures, including the Prime Minister, then Putin's longtime spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, were hospitalized, feeling concerns about Putin's own health. Soon, with the highest number of infections after the US, Russia seemed to descend into a coronavirus hell. Images of infected medics coughing in makeshift wards exposed hideous conditions. Here, a doctor is arrested trying to deliver much-needed medical supplies. She argued the country was in denial about its coronavirus problem. At least 3 more, critical of the pandemic response, mysteriously fell out of hospital windows, more out of desperation with their workload, said colleagues, than a conspiracy to silence critics. 2 died of their injuries. It's why this first shipment of US aid to Russia is so significant. Not just a return favour to the next worst affected country in the world, but also an admission by Russia, finally, that it needs help. And Jake, the latest figures to come out of Russia really underline how much help it needs. More than 8,000 new infections recorded in the past 24 hours. It brings to 308,000 the number of people recorded as infected. The death toll still under 3,000. But, you know, I think everybody focusing on this now knows very well the real figure is going to be much higher than that.